Disclaimer: do not harass the person in question. This video is made for entertainment purposes and for critique. Spoilers for Planet Robobot, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Kirby Star Allies, Kirby Dreamland 3, Kirby 64 Crystal Shards, Kirby Triple Deluxe, and Kirby Adventure. Hello there, Bailey here. You are probably wondering, where am I right now? Well, you see, a certain crystallized hedgehog decided to trap me here after saying I didn't like mac and cheese. You see, this is the Hell Dimension. You see, it's normally orange, but I have conquered it and turned every fire in here green. For some reason, the tornado in the background is just refreshing. I do not know how to get out. It's screaming and I don't know why. Anyway, today we are covering a YouTube short made by cdotkom. For context, Kirby is a popular Nintendo character known for his overwhelming power. And cdotkom disagrees with that notion, and I have a few problems with his points. With that all out the way, let's get started.
He's the weakest Nintendo character. We all know Kirby's a little guy, and for some reason the general consensus is that Kirby is all-powerful, but that is just not the case. And allow me to explain. Now the main point of discussion is that Kirby's fought gods. But has he though? Has he really? Let's take a look at these contenders. Let's see, there's 002, Magalore, Zactonia, Stardream, Void Termina, Elphalus. None of those count. Check my video.
Oh, you're making us check another video? Alright, I'll bite. Let's do it.
How many gods has Kirby fought? Last time I got rudely interrupted, but now I have to do this while I'm sick, which is just so great. Kirby is no stranger to otherworldly foes, but I don't know if they would count as god because they aren't classified as one. But now it is time to see which ones look close enough to a biblically accurate name. Starting off, there was 0 and 02. Now these lads are just eyes. I think they would need a bit more of them to be classified as a god. The more recent Kirby games, I feel, kind of start to go into this, we are fighting gods now a bit more. I feel that the sentiment really comes from Kirby Star Allies and the final boss called, Destroyer of Worlds. Then Smash Bros. Ultimate's opening cutscene also adds to Kirby's list of all gods.
And while the last Kirby fights are definitely big, strong fellas, there's no specific way to classify them into any certain category.
You traitor! I should have known.
Ain't that way.
First off, you just say they're not gods. You do not actually prove this for a fact. Secondly, how are them not being gods prove that Kirby's weak? Well, yes, Kirby's power in our eyes are a little less than we initially thought if they're not gods, but just because they are not gods doesn't mean they are not big threats. Let's go down the list of examples you listed, shall we? 0 and 02 seem to be the same due to 02's bandage on their head and their resemblance to a fallen angel. But to actually get to the important part, both of them seem to be the head of the dark matter, which are known for invading planets. Defeating the leader of a literal planet-invading species sounds pretty tough to me. Crown literally reads as limitless power, which basically means that Magalore literally had limitless power given the fact that he had it, and Kirby defeated him. But hey, he isn't a god. He definitely isn't tough to beat. Zactonia actually merged with the Dreamstalk and became a threat to two planets at the same time, so apparently because she's not a god, that means nothing apparently. Stardream literally said it was capable of eliminating all life, and given his main body, we have really no doubt that he could probably do that. But it's not a god, so I guess it doesn't matter then. While you do admit Void Termina is kind of a god, it was still summoned for its capability of destroying the galaxy. It was literally called Destroyer of Worlds. But once again, by your logic, because it's not quite a god, it doesn't matter. And Elphalus can literally crash planets into each other and almost conquer the planet if it weren't for some people who captured it, which we still don't know how. And yes, I get it. You are simply trying to debunk one of the fan base's main points. But you see, the problem with that is, it doesn't really work. Because just because they are not gods does not mean there's still not constant threats that Kirby has to deal with that endangers planets or even galaxies. You have to explain how these are not threats, or just how are they less threatening compared to other Nintendo villains because you claim Kirby was the weakest Nintendo character. Like for example, you could say Elphalus is weaker than Dreamy Bowser. Well, yes, I don't know if that's true. At the very least, that's better than you just saying, these are not gods, and Kirby's weak because of it.
There's one thing that every single one of these fights have in common. That is, Kirby doesn't beat the boss on his own, whether that be with the help of a powered-up ability, another item, or with the help of other people. Stardream could only be defeated with a Robobot armor and halberd, same goes for Void Termina with the Star Ally Sparkler and company. For Fecto Elfless, you literally need half the boss to defeat the boss.
So to tackle your upgrade ability and tool point, literally most characters that fight use an ability of sorts or a tool to beat their enemies. And with the help of other people point, was Kirby still not the main reason why they beat most of these threats? And you chose the worst examples to prove your point with. To start off with Planet Robobot, Kirby literally needs to ride in the mech suit to even have its absorb ability. So the mech suit can't even absorb Halberd without Kirby piloting it, therefore still the main reason why they're able to fuse and win against Stardream. And for your Star Allies example, Kirby was still the one who assembled the 4 friends, therefore allowing the Sparkler to exist. And even then, Kirby still was the one that summoned the other friends to fight for Termina. Therefore, once again, Kirby was still the main reason why they were able to win that fight. And for your Vecto Ephelis example, Kirby literally had to fight Ephelis to weaken him down to almost 1 health and release Elfin. In fact, we have good reason to believe that if Ephelis didn't fly off, Kirby could have beaten him by himself without Elfin. Given that Kirby's normal attack did damage Ephelis. Either way, Kirby did most of the heavy lifting. Either way, in all these examples you provided, no matter if his friends helped him or not, Kirby was still the main reason why he won those fights. And the worst part is, there were better examples you could have provided of this. For example, Kirby had to get launched by Deity towards Nightmare, which from there, Kirby had to use the Star Rod to defeat him. And keep in mind, the Star Rod is not one of Kirby's abilities. And in Kirby 64 Crystal Shards, Kirby had to use the Crystal Gun to defeat Zero Two, and had to have Ribbon carry him to avoid Zero Two's attacks. And again, the Crystal Gun is not one of Kirby's abilities, and Ribbon is not one of Kirby's abilities either. Hell, in your Robobot example, you could have talked about how Susie provided the radar armor, and how Meta Knight had to release Kirby the Halberd in order to have it finish off Stardream. And again, all your examples were bad because Kirby was still pivotal to those victories, and you are implying that he was not.
I know that it is stated that Kirby has infinite power, but that doesn't mean the little guy can utilize it well. There are no thoughts in his brain. Does he have a brain? And don't forget, he still is just an 8-inch tall lad. I would never want to hurt Kirby, but if it came down to it.
Yet at the beginning of this clip, you literally showed Kirby fighting with the sand ability. What are you talking about when you say he doesn't know how to utilize his power? And that's the end of the video. Final thoughts? I feel cdotkom needs to explain his points. While yes, this is a YouTube short, his points really was in need of explanation given the fact that saying that something's not a god does not disprove Kirby's strength. Saying that he needs help with certain tools does not disprove it either, especially when Kirby's still the main reason why they won. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And ask for help because I do not know how to get out this place. Good night, goodbye, and later.